Another benefit of the SAVE plan that you might not have realized, that will not only save you on interest, but it will also cut off a chunk of your loan, so you're not paying the whole loan in total. Stay tuned. Hi, my name is Muhammad, and I help those who are venturing into financial freedom make their first move. Previously, in the student loan income-driven payment plans, if you made 20 years of payments, which is about 240 payments, you would get the remainder of your loan forgiven. In the SAVE plan, what's new is that now if you have 12K in loans, 12,000 in loans when you started, you would get the remainder forgiven in 10 years. And every $1,000 you had more over 12,000, you would add a year. So if, for example, you had 14,000 in loans when you started, you would get the remainder forgiven once you made 168 payments, which is roughly around 12 years of payments. So in 12 years, whatever you had remaining will be forgiven. And if you had more than 22K, it didn't matter how much you had, within 20 years or 240 payments, you would get the remainder removed, forgiven. So that was the addition for the SAVE plan. So how do you save? You might already know this information, but how do you save? How do you get a chunk of your loan cut off by doing this? And this will depend on your monthly payment and the total amount you will pay in how many years you have to get that amount forgiven. So let's look at examples, and I'll show you the formula to use, and let's see if you can save on your student loans. So there's still some hope. So first you would come to the studentaid.gov website and click on the SAVE plan. And you would come down, scroll down to this table here, and it will give you an estimate on your monthly payment. And in the examples I'm going to show today, I'm going to be taking like the highest amount that you probably will pay in monthly payments in this plan, and the lowest, like the second to lowest. And we'll see how much you'll save. So, and you have to be making maximum 60K to qualify for this loan. So let's look at the examples here. If we go to this page right here, and I can, yes, okay. So in order to calculate how much you will pay before you will be forgiven, you're going to look at, first of all, how many years until you will be forgiven. So it depends on how much loan you have. So for example, if you have, let's say, a 40K loan, that will definitely not qualify for the 10 years. So it's gonna, and it's over 22K, so it's gonna be a 20 years payments until it's forgiven. So 20 years, we're gonna put it into the formula up here, as you can see here, and then times it by 12. 20 years, you get 240 payments. So in order to qualify for forgiveness in 20 years, you have to make 240 payments. And let's see down here if you might get a chunk off if you pay for 20 years. So in order to benefit, you need to calculate how much you will actually pay in 20 years and see if it's less than the amount you have in loans, and see how much you might save. So for the 40K, we're going to go down here, and so if we see here and we look at how much I will pay if I have to pay $227, I don't qualify for the 10-year one, so this is not a good idea. to use. I don't like, even if I qualified, so even if I had 12K in loans, this is not a good idea because in 10 years I would be paying this total here. Okay, so and if I have $227 in monthly payments with the 40K, it won't be a good idea either because it has to be less than 54. Because if I have to pay $227 a month over 240 payments, I would be paying $54,000, and that is more than 40K. So that is more than the amount I have in loans. So it won't be a good idea. So I would have to find a different strategy, and I have a video, my previous video, on how to save the most on interest and how much you would have to pay in order to not pay a lot on interest using the save plan. You can still save, but this method where you can get your loan forgiven in 20 years won't be a good idea if you pay $227. So let's take that 40K loan again and see if we save with 130. So if I only paying 130 in the save plan, and I qualify for the 240 because I have 40K in loans, so in 20 years I would be paying $31,000. So that's $8,800 less than 40K. So this is a great idea. So all I have to do is pay $130 a month for 20 years, and all I will be paying is $31,200, and the rest of my 40K loan will be forgiven, and I will be paying zero in interest. So if you're paying $130 a month and you have 40K in loans, so if you have anywhere larger than $31,000 and you're only paying $130, it would be forgiven. So if you only have $31,000 in loans and your payment is $130, over 20 years you will be paying exactly your loan, zero in interest, and nothing will be forgiven, but you don't have to pay interest. So all you're paying is your monthly payment, and the rest will be forgiven. And so if you pay $47 a month in monthly payments, you save even more. So all you will be paying is $11,000, and the rest will be saved. You won't even have to pay anything. You won't even pay anything in interest, nothing. So if your monthly payments is anywhere in the save plan, and depending on your loan, so if you have a 60K loan and you're paying $227, this is a great idea because all you'll be paying is $54,000 in 20 years, and the $6,000 left, roughly $6,000, will be forgiven. You don't have to pay interest, nothing. And the best scenario is to have zero monthly payments. $0 monthly payments, depending on how much you have in your loan. So like if I had 40K, then it would be 20 years. After 20 years of paying zero payments a month, I would get all my loan forgiven. No interest, nothing. How good is that? So this is definitely something to look at. Put your monthly payment into this formula and calculate how much you have to pay and see if you qualify. So you only have to pay your monthly payment, and in 20 years or 10 years or how much years you have until it's forgiven, it will be completely forgiven, zero interest, nothing else to pay. So definitely check this out, and if you don't qualify for this, check out my video on how to save on interest so you don't have to pay a lot on interest. I'll have it linked right here. Other than that, so long.